Greetings, programs. Welcome back to ArcNeo Reviews. Apologies in advance if the camera's a little shakier and things are weird. I'm actually having to do kind of a ramshackle downward camera angle for this, so technical issues are being had. But today, just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the Q Workshop RPG Icons Seth Skorkowsky dice. One, because I want to talk about these dice a little bit in particular, as well as two, I want to talk about kind of Q Workshop dice as a whole, and this is the best set that I have to use to do that with. So, I mean, right off the bat, I'm aware I'm pretty late to the party on these. That's for a simple reason. I wanted some time to actually really use these things, because there's a lot of times you get a set of dice, they look really cool. You're like all excited to, throw them on the table and start rolling. Things are slanted right now if you're wondering why everything keeps rolling that way. But, you're all excited and pumped to use them. You get them, and in the middle of playing, you realize, wow, these are worthless. That is thankfully not the case with these things. And I say this as someone who has pretty, I don't have normal dyslexia. I have, advanced dyslexia. I can still read all of these just fine. Little things like the lines through most of the O's go a long way to help. And even though everything's going for, a fancy font and everything, you can see that the numbers are still very clearly separated from the designs and etchings around them, which is really nice. As always with Q Workshop dice and any good dice brand as a whole, there's a nice little weight to these. They have passed balance tests that I've done on them. This was a set more meant for Call of Cthulhu than anything else, so you do get 2 extra percentiles. I like that you get a total of 3 in this set. You get one that looks like this, and then these 2 that are actually black first and have a slightly different font on them and different designs. It makes for a really, really cool set. And once in a while when it matters, it also lets you differentiate which is your normal die and which are the Banes and Boons or Banes and Baboons. Yeah, which are your pluses and your minuses, your advantage and disadvantage, whatever you want to call it. I know it's not advantage and disadvantage in Call of Cthulhu, but sometimes it's easier to explain it that way. But all in all, I'm really, really happy with not just the readability of these dice, but I've had these things for quite a while. I'm sure for the 3 people who follow me over on Twitter or X or whatever the heck they call it now, I did post about having these things quite a while back. And the reason I did that and waited until now to actually talk about them at all is simply I wanted to give these things a bit of a longevity test. I have used these things a lot, and they've held up great. I have not had any paint chips, any scratches, no cracking, none of the issues you run into a lot of times with dice over time. So the longevity of these things, I'm very, very happy with. Worth pointing out, it was a whole thing that Seth had these custom D12s added in that are just D6s, and everything's on here twice. I love that they're pipped. I've seen, 12-sided D6s before, or round D6s. They have a couple different names. But the fact that they've got pips as well just really makes me happy in the silliest way. And another thing I like is the fact that because these are made by Q Workshop, you can just go on their website and buy singles to go to any of their sets as well. So I got some more D6s and another D20 and another of the pipped D6s, or, the D12 6, these things. So that I could have, I just wanted to have more than one of those. And this way I've got, more traditional D&D dice with these, with, 2D20s and 46 and all that. I really, really have to give a recommendation to these. again, if that was in this take or last take, I can't remember, but I did try to go look up the website for these, or the specific page for these on Q Workshop's site. I was having trouble getting that to load. Could just be a like time of recording issue kind of thing. They do also sell like a digital tabletop version of these. That's if that's your prerogative, that's your kind of thing. Hey, that's a thing. Go check them out. Cool, have fun. Um, Not quite my style. And also, just for fun, I did want to compare. I do have two other specifically Cthulhu themed sets of dice, also from Q Workshop. Um, while I like how well these sets like go together with the Seth dice, these do also show kind of what I'm talking about with, I was really excited when I got these different sets, but the just over over designing of their special fonts and everything, like right now, just holding up to the camera, yeah, I'm sure it's no big deal to look at them and know what you're looking at. When you're actually in game trying to look at these, there's one too many squiggles on them, and it can become a nightmare trying to actually read these things. These ones are frankly even worse. If I can get the camera to figure out what on earth it's looking at here. As you can see, just so much going on with these designs. And while, yes, both of these sets are really, really gorgeous sets, and again, top quality. I've had these like 3 times longer than I've had the Seth ones. Again, not a single paint mark, no nothing. And it's not like I've babied and pampered these things. Like, I just throw them in like a little Elder Sign dice bag, and they've just been rocking in this for years. No problems with longevity, even on like the thinner paint of these ones. Q Workshop dice are really, really well-made dice. But if you want a Cthulhu theme set, because Call of Cthulhu is awesome, you should play it, especially around Halloween. It's really, really good for that kind of stuff. Yeah, the Seth's set is far and above the best Cthulhu-based dice that I've seen on Q Workshop. So go check these out. I'll have the link down in the description if it works. Hopefully you can check them out there. And because while we're kind of on this topic of dice from like maybe a not so obvious manufacturer and stuff, I did want to throw out. I do also have a few sets from Infinite Dark that I have picked up, or Infinite Black. I can't even remember what they're called, and on here you can't even. I don't think they even put it. Elder Dice is like the subline that they do, because they've got all kinds of Cthulhu themed dice as well. This is the Necronomicon set in particular. So, in a few weeks' time, maybe a little longer, I will give a review on these, because again, I want to give them some proper like testing and let them rattle around in a dice bag and go through some general life and see how well they hold up. But that is a thing that will be coming relatively soon. I've bought a pretty good spread of their stuff, some of their dice, their coins. I even got one of their mats. So that's on its way, but that's also way down in the future. For now, the Seth dice, they're awesome. Go get some. Thanks for watching. As always, I'll see you next time.